boss man watches and listens to everything, right? Everything we go, surveillance, capture, all of that. That was a few years ago. It's, they moving at breakneck speed now. What was in 3 years ago, they done built up on that already. Who can keep up with that? Young people can. And young people, all they have to do is make this the big game. They can run circles around boss man. They can have two levels. One, the obvious, that we're going to build, we're going to flood the world with thank you Greta letters, whatever you want, right? Why? Because the poor little girl is, although there's somebody behind her, keep telling her go out, but eventually she'll get tired. She'll say, this is not it, right? They're not listening. It happened to the king, it happened to Malcolm, it happened to anybody. It could. If you don't pay attention, it could happen to anybody. I'm just tired. I'm not going to do that anymore. Right? Because there's no response. Okay. So now think about the students. And we think about students, and this is a chance for Muslim students and black students, just like we was talking last week. Even it's a chance for America. Obama used to say, America is still number one. That's what he was saying then. America can be number one again, but not on that foolishness. America could sit down and visualize a world that they want to live in, and they could move the world in that direction to rescue the earth. They could do that. If they want to be number one, they can be number one in America the good. They can't be number one anymore in oppression and production. They ain't gonna be that. But they can be number one in doing good. Or it's like a slow ball in the fire trying to that opportunity. But what about the young people? The young people, most rebellion, anti-war, the stuff comes from the students. They don't have a stake in the society yet. But think about the students now. Half of them, when they get out of college, are going to have a student debt. A student debt.
That's what Occupy was about.
Huh?
That's what Occupy was about.
Occupy could have been, they studied what we want to do, and then Occupy could have been a false start by the system. A lot of people think that, but they made a mistake anyway. Because at the time of your decline, you do things that appear to be very smart and very clever. The Quran says the people of old age, they plot and plan too. They had their CIA, they had all of that, right? And they came up with one scheme. They didn't say we're gonna take a dive. They said, no, we're gonna pull this off. That's what every system said. Everybody said, well, no, okay. But the things that they did was specially designed to bring them down. It's just like boss man. Everything he do is a perfect design to bring him down. You remember when you study history, those mini wars and all of that stuff? Look at boss man, mini wars, that boy had no, I don't even remember, maybe World War II, right? It wasn't Korea. The Korean War technically is still going on. That was over 60 years ago, 1950 to 1953. So Boss Man, his many wars, the recent one, forget about Vietnam, but think about all his wars. Every war he's had has backfired, slapped him in the face. And don't let him try to fix it. They're in Afghanistan right now? Well, we just had a vote. They had a vote. The vote came in from September. They said Ghani wins. They said he didn't win. That don't make no difference. You're going to blow it in. They can't put it back together. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's men, horses and all the king's men couldn't put Boss Man back together again. They can't do it. He can't, it don't make no difference. And he's begging the people now. You can tell the way he's talking trash to the people, but that boy is begging, please, just stop messing up for 2 weeks so we can go home. We quit. You know, we want to go. The Taliban blow up something and I said, oh, Boss Man, you talking all that gangster talk? We're going to have peace talks, but we're going to blow you up anyway. Why? We're already the poorest thing in the world. There's nobody poorer than we are. Maybe Yemen and Haiti or somebody. We ain't got no future. We ain't got no house to protect. You killing our children by the 1.6 million. That was 30 years ago. Can you imagine? That's what the Russians did. Look since now. The point is this, it don't make no difference. It don't make no difference at all. The small wars, the petty wars, we know what happened right there in Iraq. And the way they talking to Iran, you see every time they get close to something with Iran, they going back the other way. When Iran shoot down that $1 zillion drone, well, I didn't do anything because we would have killed 157 Iranians. This is brand new. For Trump to care about people, he's got 51 cases. 51 cases in the jailhouse. I mean, the people won't take him to court for stealing from them. 51 upper middle class type contractor. Say the contractor have a several $1 million company he did work. 50, can you imagine? Well, that was years ago. 51 people taking him to court. And he's for the common man. Okay. They can believe that. They can believe Bloomberg is for the common man. Whatever they want to believe, that's to them. But for us, just look at it like it is. If America wants to be number one, it would have to drop all of the pretension. It would have to make what we have to make, a quantum leap. To jump over all of that foolishness and falseness and say, this is what we're going to do from now on. Okay. Historically, that don't usually happen. Didn't happen during the time of Noah. It didn't happen during the time of the Prophet Sallallahu. Didn't happen during Musa's time. You know, the systems just don't say, one did though. People of 100,000 or more. None of them. Can you imagine? Out of all the people. Now the chief used to say, y'all say this is Babylon, I say it's Nineveh. The chief was all right. Maybe it is. We just can't see it yet. But imagine if this was Nineveh, maybe we should teach that a while. We teach that you're Nineveh and you can make it. and you can do good. Hey, we can try it, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. That's what we'll do. We'll try to teach, we'll brainwash America and tell them they're good people, they're the best people, they're destined to save the world. Why not we try it a couple of years, see what happens? You know, they might do it. But that's what we're doing anyway when we talk about billionaires, the happiness index. I know the mathematical scenario that probably would go around in anybody's brain about the possibility of what we're talking about. But think about it, it's very simple. Leaderless resistance. That's why we're getting all this done. We're just going to go right around, boss man. We just hand these all out all over. We get the duplicator fixed back there. If not, we'll get another one. We got some already. We'll just duplicate. They won't be able to cut us off. They can't cut us off. They got some nickel and dime stuff going on because nobody's contacting us. Nobody is contacting us. And I don't believe they're following the old original order of just observe, work with 2 or 3 of your people in your masjid that you grew up with, and develop a side of As-Sabiqun. Maybe 2 or 3 people might. I don't feel it. Maybe it's happening. Maybe it's okay. It don't make no difference. Remember what Allah do say, that I'll help you from avenues you don't even imagine. All we got to do is keep doing what we're doing. We'll keep putting roofs on. If they come up and punch a hole in it next week, it's okay. So put another one on when we get ready, right? The thing is this optimism. Remember when I was busted in the head? You know, I got a crease up here in my head. Can you see it? I got creased. So somebody did something up there. And all I said was, why? Because that's the thing. But optimism and pessimism, between the twixt and skull, the optimist sees the donut, the pessimist sees the hole. Something like that. Yeah, the pessimist, it ain't gonna work. It's got a hole in it. And a donut does have a hole in it. That's what it do. It has a hole in it. Right? That's what the pessimist looks like. Look at it. Just a leaderless resistance. When we head back to California, we'll probably start doing it around here in between our work schedule. We'll just start visiting places and give out a few, cost 20 cents a piece. Keep it in the dollar material. We just give out a few thousand. We'll make special videos that deal especially with how to break out of the modern prison that we're in. Not just me and you, I'm talking about the children. They're in prison too. In fact, this is the last stage before the global lockdown. The global lockdown, the world is so information based, right? And so linked in. Somebody was saying this guy Bezos and all that Amazon, all them guys. They got CIA. Everything goes to directly, look. But how you gonna beat them? You got one above board. This is young kids. Remember, they gotta make it a game. Young people can do anything. And they can move faster than we can because they come up in this. So, one that's above board. We're sending letters to Greta and everybody, and we're going to meet this summer sometime in a great such and such a meeting to put together this package, and they can send out all this stuff. They can even invite us to speak at conferences all over the universities, everywhere, in Masjid. Believe it or not, there's a book called Green Dean. It's old. Anybody seen that book? Green Dean, the guy up in New York, I think. So we're not by ourselves. They're just not mobilized. They're not organized. That's all. This thing is sitting here waiting for us. We get to play a part in organizing and mobilizing humanity. You can't miss it. We're not talking about nothing that everybody is feeling the same anxiety, discomfort, watching the news. This place is flooding, this is burning up, then you change it around and the other one is burning up and the other one is flooding. That's the whole world. That's the way the world is. We're not talking an unknown language. This is our time. We'll start. One of the approaches is leaderless resistance. That's all. We just pass these out all over, and we'll tell the people how to meet and overcome a professional oppressor and what they have going for themselves. We'll deal with that soon. How to do it and what to do it. Review COINTEL programs and all of those things, but update it. How to attract attention and how not to attract attention. There'll be two crews, at least minimum. One crew, their job is to attract attention. The other crew is not to attract attention. Their job is not to show up on the radar. You know, because if you go on this website, you go on that website, you do too many things, you can come up on the radar, right? So, we'll teach them what not to do. They know how, they'll find out how not to do it. Why? Because they're young and they like doing that. We're 100 years old. I don't even know how to use my phone hardly. Every time I just hit select and I can type in something and I can listen to anything I want. That's the only thing. And my kids been telling me for 10 years or longer, Dad, why you take all those CDs and DVDs? You don't have to take those all with you because the car is full of all of that. DVD players, all of that. You don't have to do that. I wouldn't listen. Finally, I just pushed a couple of buttons. Good God Almighty, look at that. And they had told me for 10 years, right? You don't have to take CDs and DVDs and lectures. You can listen to any lecture you want. You can go through the whole Mau insurrection. You can go to the latest black conference on Mooga Booga Land. Everything is right there. You have to cut your selection down because you can overload yourself. You can overload. Say, I just want to do a little bit. Or I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to limit my listening to when I go on the road. Just imagine on the road, you got it hooked up. Yeah, all them lights is clicking. I can see it from here. Alhamdulillah. Allah Akbar. We just get we already have several CD duplicators, downstairs. We got 10 stacks, and DV 10 stacks, and 1 6-stack. So we're going to do mostly DVDs, right? We do DVDs till the cows come home. Yeah, and we just pass them out. It's important, you know why? Because they stole our DVD machines in California. I knew whatever they take, it's important. The cameras, just sitting there listening to the radio. How many radios, cassette players with, the 2 cassettes and a CD player? They stole 15 of those from right there in the office, at least. Because I would sit there and listen to the news, and I'd have a player in, and when I hear something, I just push the button. I've been doing it I got cassette after cassette from way back in the day. Just the news. It's not necessary now, but it was big then. Something on Iran, I pushed the thing. Newspapers, Christian Science monitors, you're getting so much information. Now you don't need that. You can get specific. But you have to be careful about being specific, because then you get only the news you want. You see what I mean? So you have to, personally, I learned how to listen to National Public Radio because I've been listening to it for over 45 years. I listened to it in prison. And I'd go to sleep with it on. Anytime you come to the Masjid around, it was always on. So I got used to what Boss Man was telling everybody. After a while, the pattern of what he's getting ready to do, almost exactly. You could tell. I could tell. And I could tell so much that I knew when Boss Man was sending me, he knew what I was listening to too. And when he's sending me a little message, or he don't say he's sending it, but you could pick it. Patterns, man, when you listen to something so long. So now, I was just listening to, what's the state? 105.5.
Oh, Sputnik.
But all other stuff. But I go back to NPR every now and then. Just to make sure. Just to double check. Because I